We're here today to say that we want the killing to stop. We want the suffering of innocents to stop in Gaza. We don't want any more death. We don't want any more bloodshed. And we're here today to tell our Canadian government, to tell other Canadian citizens that we want them to take a stand against what's happening in Gaza. We want the world to know that the women in London, Ontario, want the killing to stop.
We are here to represent mothers and sisters and daughters. We are here for a humanitarian reason. We are here on behalf of mothers in Palestine, regardless of their religion, regardless of their background. We are here to support the Jewish mother, the Christian mother, the Muslim mother. No mother should suffer. We would like to pass this message to Canadian government to do something, to act on our behalf. The message we would like to come out is we need an action as soon as possible before we increase the number of civilians died. It's enough. Gaza is a small strip, and 45% of the population is children under the age of 14, and they are under sanction for 2 years. They are under occupation for 60 years. We are talking 3 generations been suffering. So stop. Stop. The freedom is a right for everyone. Security is a right of every person. It's not a legacy for one group only. This is the message we would like to pass to the media, to take it to our MPs and our government.
I have family members there, a lot of family members, who are, their houses are shattering, people are dying, children are getting hurt, sitting in the streets, dying, no home, no food. And we here are like, we get everything we want. It's not fair. We want freedom. That is what we want. Thank you. Free Palestine.
Thank you.
This is how the children in Palestine live. Can you see this one? Can I take this one? Can you see? These are all kids. We have lots of pictures like this. You can come and see it. You can go through the internet and see all these pictures and know the truth. You have to know the truth.
كل مدينة بينها وبين المدينة الثانية حواجز عسكرية.
It's prohibited to go from one city to another without going through the borders and talking to people and fighting with people and arguing with them to get through that city. So most of the times you have to go the back way and go around the mountains and down the hills to get to the city. From 1978, they've been suffering, women and children. Every time they want to go from one place to another, they have to go through hell. So it's time to stop them.
أنا كنت معلمة بدرس في المدرسة.
I'm a teacher in Palestine, and it's hard for me to get to school. I have to suffer to get to school. So do the children that live in Palestine. It's hard to go to school for anybody. We have suffered being hit on at the schools that we've been shot at.
أنا مدرسة كنت بحكي لهم أعطيهم.
It's not very good to study there because kids go to school and they're like, we can study, we can do our homework, we've been shot at, they've been people following us, we can study, we can do our homework, our houses have been corrupted. The students and the teachers have been to the hospital so many times because of being shot at. Every little child there knows about what's going on with the politics and war more than anybody else in the world.
طفل عمره 9 سنين 10 سنين يكون داخل الحصة وحاط في جيبته المية.
A 9-year-old has a radio in his pocket just to keep listening to the news to know what's going on.
وصارت أشياء كثيرة أنا شفتها بعيني يعني وعشتها يعني منها.
She saw it in her own eyes that there was a woman whose child was 12 years old. They tried to grab him to take him out of the house, and she pulled on to him to keep him in the house, and they shot her in the eye, and she lost her eye. There's lots to tell you. There's lots of stories that she has seen and she has been through, especially seeing people being dragged out of their houses barefoot and thrown in the streets. Our kids have no peace. They have no childhood. They live in the Palestine and they don't live like kids.
ما بعرف الطفولة كل حياتهم معاناة وزيهم زي الكبار. يا أمي الله أكبر، يا أمي الله أكبر. قالوا انزع من قلبك الوطن. قلت أحب فلسطين أكثر، أحب فلسطين أكثر.
What she's saying is that the children in Palestine have no childhood. Is it their fault that they live in Palestine, they're Palestinians, or is it just because they're Palestinians?
لم أفرح لعرائس السكر. عمري 5 سنوات لا أكثر. لم أفرح لعرائس السكر. يا أمي الله أكبر، يا أمي الله أكبر. ولدت كحلا، ولدت كحلا، ولدت شيخا هرم. ما ذنبي؟ ماذا جنيت؟ ألأني فلسطيني أم أني ذات الفتى الشقي؟ يا أمي الله أكبر، يا أمي الله أكبر.
On November 3rd, my husband Nihad traveled to Gaza to visit his dying father at the time. My husband said he would never forgive himself if he didn't see his father before he died. And when we said it could be a risk, he said, "This man has dedicated 73 years of his life for me and my family. This is the least I could do for him." And when he knew the Egypt border would be opened the next day, he packed his bags and left on the same day. I wasn't very worried at the time because it was during the ceasefire period and things were calm for a while. 2 weeks after his father passed away, he decided that it was best for him that he could come back now. He applied to the Israel side of the border, which takes about a week to process, but he had never heard from them. And that's when everything came crashing down. On December 27, Israel struck 60 locations in Gaza in less than 5 minutes, using around 100 tons of bombs. And since then, the killing hasn't ended. The death toll has exceeded 600, around 40% of them which are women and children. Israel claims it does not target civilians, yet yesterday a crime was committed against all humanity. They bombed a school that belonged to the UN, which hundreds hid in as a shelter. They killed over 40, most of them women and children. Also, a building in which 30 family members lived in was also bombed 2 days ago, killing all those 30 family members. My husband's elderly neighbors, who live right across the street, had a bomb dropped into their garden. These people are just innocent civilians. They're not part of Hamas. They don't shoot rockets. They just want to live like everyone else. My husband hasn't had electricity in over 8 days, meaning no hot water, no light, no TV to know the news around them. Nothing. Tap water only comes for a couple of hours a day, and you're considered very privileged if you have gas to cook these days. Hospitals are running out of medical supplies, and doctors are overwhelmed and sleep-deprived with the continuous arrival of injuries. The Canadian Foreign Ministry is still trying to find a safe way for them to leave, and I want to take this chance to thank them for all their efforts. I'm still waiting for him to come home. I miss him so much, and I just pray day and night that he comes home safely.
إن شاء الله.